Awesome. It's such a pleasure to be with you. My name is Daniel. How are you doing today?
I am doing perfectly fine. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. And how are you doing?
I'm doing quite well.
Amazing.
Nice to meet you. I'm Kayla Ackerman.
I'm Danielle.
I'm a rising junior, and I go to Howard
Amazing.
University.
Amazing.
Yes, and my name is Chloe Lampley. I am also a rising junior who goes to Howard University.
Awesome. So what are like your dreams and aspirations in life?
Okay, for me, my dreams and aspirations, since I am here in New York for the summer working on an internship with a very major fashion company, I honestly just want to see myself doing the same thing, but more on a global scale. So maybe even international work, or even here in New York. I love New York. I think it's really like the land of the people. It's so many different demographics here. So just being able to contribute my effort, my hard work into a community that's already set and focused on things that I'm passionate about. I think that's one of my ultimate dreams, especially within the next 5 years, since I'll be out of college by then, pretty young adult. So that's one of my dreams and aspirations within the next 5 years.
Amazing.
Okay, so one of my dreams and aspirations, I'm going to say more so long term. Well, I'm doing private equity at a company right now, and I just want to make sure I accumulate all this knowledge from private equity and investment banking to be able to give back into my community, because I'm from Miami, Florida. Shout out y'all, the 305, hello. But yeah, so I want to make sure that I get back to my community because they've poured so much into me and made sure I was doing well. So I want to make sure I'm taking all of this financial literacy and giving it back to my community.
Amazing.
Wait, and I want to shout out where I'm from. I'm from British, Alabama, the 334. Hello. It's not many people of us in my demographic here in New York, so I am beyond proud to represent us. So yes, thank you guys.
Amazing. So when things get difficult and tough, how do you keep going?
For me, how do I keep going? I literally just try to remind myself, why am I doing this for? Like I said, it's not many people like me from my community even able to do the things that I'm doing. So as long as I'm able to even be here, step foot in New York City, I feel like I'm already above a lot of people, and not above in a egotistical way, but just above in a sense of I made a way from where I'm from, where I came from, so I'm setting the blueprint for a lot of other people who's going to follow behind me.
Amazing.
Yeah, so for me, when times get difficult, I always go to my grandma. She's a pastor, and a lot of my family is are pastors and stuff. So I kind of go back to them to kind of realize the reason why I am doing something, and honestly go back to my roots and make sure that I'm doing this for a purpose. And I look back and I make sure I'm able to help the next person behind me. So being able to concentrate on how I'm going to help the community, behind me, and be able to help us progress as a Black culture. That's the main thing that's important to me.
Yeah. So if you could paint the most perfect picture, if restrictions, failure, money wasn't an issue, what would that future look like for you?
My future will look like making my city just what New York is, or not even just New York, just making it a lot more progressive, a lot more where people of my descent, you get to have the opportunities, the same chance as other people around you. You don't have to be barrier by maybe race or financial status. You just have the same playing ground, the same economical opportunity, just opportunity in general, just be able to give it back to my community. That's my perfect world, my perfect dream world.
Amazing. How about
I'm just gonna have to repeat after that. I think the same thing. I just want everybody to have the same equal playing field, and I'd want people to be able to feel like they can reach out to somebody without feeling kind of discouraged, because if we looked at LinkedIn and you see everybody's significant accomplishments and stuff like that, it gets kind of nerve-wracking at times.
Yeah.
So to be able to reach out to the next person and ask for help, so that's the main thing.
And I think, what is something you've achieved that your younger self will be so proud of?
For me, I love, this is my shameless plug, everybody, but
please.
Being able to say that I graduated college with an associate's degree, of course, but at the age of 17, most people do not get to say that. Don't matter what demographic, where you're from, where you came from, you do not get to say that you graduated so early from college at the age of 17 with an associate's degree, and the saying that my community let that be the one opportunity that we were able to give and push. I love to say that I do it, I rep it. So yeah, being able to do what I needed to do at an early age.
Amazing.
I guess one thing I can look back and say is that I graduated from a HBCU. Hello. Howard varsity in a building. Hello, but no, yeah, being able to graduate from HBCU, being HBCU built, and learning how to understand the world that you're a part of and how your specific culture can make an impact. So I think that's one of the major things for me, and being able to break into the finance industry, which is most Black people cannot do, and being able to be that person that open up the door for other people to be able to say I can see myself in that predicament, and especially Black women, okay, because there's not enough of us in the finance industry, and we need to actually make sure we're on that. So yeah, that's my main
So two
thing.
last questions, and thank you guys so much. I've asked you what keeps you going. So maybe, this is a tough one. Is there anyone you want to shout out that has supported you through this entire journey and that's been a rock in this process?
Through my entire journey, I want to just shout out my family from Greenwich, Alabama, a small town in Alabama. However, it's particularly, I want to shout out my father. Although he may give me a lot of hard love and whatever you want to call it, but at the end of the day, it's he believed in me. He invested in me, and I am his seed. I am somebody he truly believed to be able to do great things that he's never seen, things that he's never done. And so the fact that somebody gave me that platform, even if it is my father, that just means the world to me. He never had it just handed to him, so he's handing it to me so I can hand it to somebody else. I'm beyond grateful for that opportunity. So I want to shout out my dad.
Yeah, thank you, Dad.
For me, it's mainly my entire family, the Jordan, the Smith, the Bailey family. They have all came together to make sure I am pushed through. Even when it came to my graduation party, they all sent so much money to me, and they always send so much support to me. So that's my main thing that I'm so happy and proud about, is to have a full structure of people that are behind me, and especially my mother, because she makes sure I continue going. No matter what, she makes sure, Kayla, have your head straight on. Don't worry about what the next person's doing, what the person coming behind you is doing. But as long as you have a plan, and as long as you follow God's plan for you, that's all that matters. Even if things don't look like the way they're looking at right now, just know that God is always going to have that plan for you on the back end of things. So that's my
lastly, I'm enjoying this conversation so much. Lastly, what is one thing you've heard or learned in life that has really transformed your entire being and transformed your vision, transformed just your general life? Maybe something you learned or heard.
Okay, for me, it's going to be from Howard University, both of our school.
Okay.
But school of business orientation, your network is your net worth. So it doesn't matter how whatever credentials you have, whatever your education is, your background is, at the end of the day, it's who you know. How do you network? How do you put yourself out there? How are you able to talk to people just like this on the side of the street? How are you able to make an impact on those around you? That's going to be your network in the ending. Just connect, just know people, just try to put yourself out there, and everything else will start to fall in line. You already have the credentials, so don't worry about that aspect. Just start networking. Who do you know? How do you know them? And go from there.
Come on.
Yes, I completely agree with that. I completely co-sign that. But at the same time, I'm kind of going to go conversely here. And for me, it's more so faith without works is dead, right? Ooh. So you put in as much work as you can, right? And you've done everything you could have possibly done. But you look at the faith that God has instilled in you. If you know you've done everything you can to get to where you are, at this point, all you have to do is stand and just know that God is going to work in on the back end of everything, and just make sure you get everything that you need to be. And even though it doesn't look exactly like how you want it to, just know that God is going to be there for you on the back end of everything, making sure things work for you, not how you want it to. A lot of the time, it's not how you want it to. But trust and believe. But He will show up every single time. So that's the one thing I'm so blessed to understand. And that's one thing my family has always taught me, is to make sure that you're rooted into God. And yeah, that's pretty much that.
Amazing. Thank you so much. This was amazing. That's the best interview we've had.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. I've been in private equity, being in at 17. Fashion.
Yes.
I think this is incredible. It's a pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much for your time. My name is Daniel. So let's just go straight into it. What are some general dreams or aspirations that you have that you want to still see achieved?
The general dreams and aspirations that I had was for my son to graduate college, to find his purpose and be able to, go on his own path. And he seems to find that he found it, and he's going in his own path. And that's good. And I believe those are the dreams and aspirations my mother had for me as well. And I did the same. And now he's the second generation to do so.
Amazing. So, what keeps you going when things are very hard or extremely difficult?
My mom's aspirations for me, and then my son, and he look after my mom also all the time. So those are the only two people that I actually take inspiration from.
Amazing. So, where do you see yourself like in 3 to 5 years from now?
Doing the same thing.
Amazing.
Working, being happy, content, and traveling. That's it.
Awesome. And what is something you've achieved now that your younger self will be so, so proud of?
Being able to speak on a camera that I would never do because I'm very shy, and I'm doing it. So that's it.
So, what is one thing that keeps you, that has inspired you, that has changed your outlook to life? It could be something you've learned or something you heard that you really hold on to.
Something that I learned kind of recently is that you always have to be content with yourself. That's about it. If you're content with yourself, the rest is in the back.
Amazing. And last but not least, so we get off your face, what is one thing you want to manifest into the future, about like family, life, career, or business? It could be anything. Just manifest.
Continued success for my son, and for him to find himself even more confident, and he's able to move on with his career and what he wants to do, the job that he wants. Just aspirational for him himself. Like, I'm good.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah. I'm sure you're like, when is it gonna end?